But I'm going to tell you guys right now, okay? I'll be 100% transparent and tell you, if we blast through this with great aggression, multiple gaps towards these clean highs, you're going to see me take a long position. Okay? But I want to see a really strong neon sign, light bulb type of phenomenon. Technical model 3 target would be these first swing highs that were created after the 930 opening price, which is where you're going to take 80% off. Okay? And then you can hold your runners if you want. Obviously if we get the entry. So most realistically, our entry would be somewhere around here if we get it. I guess stop would be a little bit below the 15-minute gap. Starting to get that aggression above this gap. I love that. If we get real momentum aggression above that gap and create the classic Model 3 entry mechanic, I'm going to take this, guys. Again, watch these down candles here. You want to see a really big momentum shift above that opening price. All right, yeah, I'll definitely give this an A-, guys, or A. Again, stop loss, correct stop placement, 25,577. Look to see if it can create another set of gaps above this down candle here, and then it should be good to go to continue here. So as long as you don't micromanage or go break even too early, it should be good to ride this out to here. It's bullshitting around, guys. All right, when it's bullshitting around, you stay calm. You let it do its thing, okay? And again, remember that 5-minute gap. Okay, it did manipulate into that 5-minute gap, which is completely normal. You do want to give it a little bit of breathing room. So I gotta say though, honestly, for now, it's definitely a normal retrace. Let's go, boom. Let's go. That's the John Cena candle, man. Literally, just out of nowhere, huge volatile move. Let's go, man. Let's go. Model 3 target smashed yet again. Live account. Members banking. #1 group in the entire industry, without a doubt. Look at this, man. God is good. Even when we lose, win, draw, usually it's a win, but he's good nonetheless. All right, guys, welcome back to a brand new full in-depth review regarding the system that I trade with you guys live every single week in and week out. The same exact thing performing, but it looks a little bit different in nature. It's the same mechanics, but just in a different market environment each and every time, okay? So, as always, live account. Beautiful model number 3 target staring us right in the face with flawless execution to spin off the day, okay? So, the question is, how was I able to arrive at this, okay? How did I know to buy? How did I know to sell at the perfect level? Let's dive into all the good stuff and grab a snack, whatever you got to do. Let's lock in for about 10-15 minutes here. All right, so first and foremost, as always, man, every single good trade, especially model number 3, always starts with the hourly time frame, okay? So the first thing I was looking at was really just overall, what is the market established in? And I mean order flow and market structure, okay? Now, to me, the order flow and bullish market structure is something that you can't overcomplicate. It's so obvious, blatantly obvious, that we're a part of a bullish market. So naturally, when I come in here today on Thursday, I'm going to look to milk out longs, especially if it's there like it was here today. It wasn't with the greatest volatility, but this rule remains the same for every other trade that I take. I'm never trying to fade the overall higher time frame trend. It's just not the case. So, I mean, it really all started with Wednesday right here, okay? Wednesday, we dropped down, swept out more lows as we're already below January's low here, okay? Just an old key daily low, nothing overcomplicated. We swept back from the market, swept out more lows, and then we started really aggressively turning up higher towards this guy right here. Okay, so if you actually scale out quick, you just see how many stacked highs we have above. We have this trend line phenomenon here. We have this quadruple top. So basically the obviousness in the stacked highs coupled with this intermittent term low formed with the large bullish rush to the upside, right, establishing a bullish market, is what gave me the confidence to really look to favor longs here today. So drop into the 15-minute time frame, okay? My main and primary focus is immediately to the midnight opening, okay? This played a very key role in today's action, all right? So the first telltale sign here was we actually came in and we created a classic London low of the day, okay? We came down below midnight, manipulated, put in that low, and then we ran to the upside. right? So it's further telling me that we're still bullish in the market. Everything's still ripping up higher. So what do I want to do in New York? Wait for a return below the opening price for what? Another buying opportunity. That's why this Model 3 today, even though usually it's a lot more high volatile, I must say, that's why it was so effective, because it offered us an opportunity below that opening price. Your best buying setups are always following manipulation below midnight and 9:30. So before I get more into that, okay, I want to also bring and touch on this right here, okay? Key inefficiency in the market. This is a complete void of no buying and selling, okay? Nothing happened in between here, just gap lower. So I'm extending this gap forward. And London pretty much handed me the keys because London completely blasted through with aggression and no regard for this gap of respecting it at all. Just completely blast through it, right? That right there was like the ultimate confirmation of a continued bullish market. We're not going to be reversing, at least for the day, right? You can see now it's starting to sell off after the market closed, but that's irrelevant. What was relevant, what was going on in the New York session real time, right? Before we drop down to the good old 1 minute chart, this was the key level that I was utilizing. Okay, we had this imbalance in the market coupled with the midnight opening. Those are the key levels that I was utilizing. And then again, I just go from the hourly 15 to the 5 minute chart. And it just so happened we had that solid body down candle right here on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so we changed our state and delivery with aggression above the opening price of this down candle, right? This down candle dove us down to our key levels. Now I need to go down to the 1 minute chart and find all the good stuff that, work up into a Model 3 entry. So along with this imbalance in midnight opening being ran out, right, and tagged, I want to also make it known that, this right here, all of these lows here being swept out, that's what made this powerful. Like I always need to see some type of key lows from who's been making money swept out before I look to take a long. All right, because I know that's where smart money reaccumulates long positions, not only below that opening price, but also below key lows. So as you can see, all these lows that were created overnight, all swept from the market. Right here, swept, right? Continuous lower lows here. Many, many lows and sell stops from early buyers being swept from the market. And I always use this to my advantage with, obviously, the checklist context that I give you guys. So here we have it. We were looking at our first 10 a.m. hourly candle opening, okay? This is an example of sometimes your hourly PO3s are going to happen a little bit later because today the volatility was just not there, okay, in terms of like really fast movement and overall aggression in the market, okay, and big moves. So here was your 10 a.m. All right, and again, as you can see, it was really delayed because it just kept chopping back and forth once we opened at 10 a.m. But finally, coupled with that change of state that I showed you in the 15-minute, we have a light bulb expansion in the direction of the Model 3 target. Model 3 target was identified very easily with this 9:30 opening. The first significant highs that were generated after 9:30 dropped down, right here. Model number 3 target, time-based key high. Very simple. Don't overcomplicate it. Back to 10 a.m. Again, we open, and I'm just waiting at this point, right? Like the work's already been done. I don't need to see like a huge manipulation below 10 a.m. because we've already dropped down so much and swept out all those lows that I showed you. So the fact that we're just consolidating, I'm just waiting. I don't need another drop down. All I need is a light bulb expansion following 10 a.m. Let's go back to your hourly chart. Look at the hourly candle. Look at this. It does not get more textbook than this, guys. This is what gave the ultimate alley-oop for this entire setup in the first place. Look. Price ran down right at 10 a.m. Opened. What did it do? Opened, manipulated, took out the previous hourly candle low, and then expanded. That's everything that you look for. Okay? 10 a.m. gave me everything that I needed. Even though it wasn't 100% pretty like it typically would be. All right, so long story short, we finally leave this trapezoid, whatever you want to call it, and we create a light bulb expansion in price. Not only did we have that higher time frame change in the state of delivery, but we also had multiple gaps, again, in the direction of the Model 3 target. The multiple gaps in the direction of the target is very key, okay? That's the tipping of the hand. Once you get the first retrace, any first retrace, man, it doesn't matter. The first retrace into the gap, you're taking your trade. Here was the take profit. Here was the correct stop placement. Correct stop placement is weathering these two gaps plus this down candle right here. So long story short, to keep it simplified, the stop loss was covering 3 key levels that made up the light bulb expansion. Simple enough, right? The market consolidates. This is honestly typical January price action, man. As long as you don't micromanage, you're going to make some damn money, okay? Consolidates for a while, dips into drawdown a little bit, and then ultimately, with high resistance, does deliver that target, okay? Now, one more little small thing I can add in here is, really gave me more conviction than the long down here. Not only do we have the Model 3 target resting above in a bullish market, but inside of that, we had this bearish gap, right? So basically what I'm saying is anytime in a bullish market, you have a gap resting where a Model 3 target is, the probabilities are shooting up really more than you even need them to shoot up, okay? So just a small little add in there, okay? So to recap, we ran out all the overnight higher lows, all the sell stops being jammed below here from overnight, swept all the lows from the market, deep manipulation below 9:30 and midnight. Remember, this is midnight. Where do the best buying opportunities come from? Below the opening prices. We had a classic 10 a.m. PO3. It manipulated below 9 a.m. hourly candle. And then the distribution phase with the light bulb expansion. Multiple gaps in the direction of the first highs created after 9:30. Simple as that. Beautiful, beautiful trade. This is what I teach consistently and show you guys how to implement live. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Hope you guys got some knowledge out of this. Take care.